And I return, ready to sail north once again. So, I picked up supplies, I picked up fuel, I sold off what I was going to sell off. It's time to go. Oh, sure, Ark. Absolute ages. An eternity. So let's see if we can't get some more Z stories. Speak to the crew as they long for news of home. Lost a recent news, lost 5 terror, gained 1 Z story. I'm so close to being able to afford that salt. Just 1 more. Make sure I'm pointed in mostly the correct direction. Basically what I want to do is just hit that block I haven't explored dead in the middle. And as long as I keep going this way, I will. Almost there. Is Mount Palmerston in here? That is the question. The waves are flecked with light. Well, I definitely entered the square. What do we have here? A dream of Christmas. The crimson beast of winter towers above you on the snow-down street, its sack wide open to receive your offering. I will take all you can give. I will take everything you have. I will take more. Mr. Sachs, take my best regards. An old Londoner's trick. It can work once. Mr. Sachs, take my wealth. You cannot take it with you. It will buy time. This will cost you echoes. Mr. Sachs, take my warmth. It will not last much longer in the cold lacquer. Mr. Sachs, take my teeth. Something of the body to satiate its hunger. Oh boy, cost you iron. Mr. Sachs, take my crew. Better them than you. Isn't that the captain's way? This will demand increasing numbers of crew. Oh no. Mr. Sachs, take me. You have nothing else left to give. The nightmare has you. This will end your game. Finish or escape your service before it comes to this. Okay, we are going to where he wants. So we're going to give him our best regards and hope that he doesn't nightmare himself up again. A loss averted. Mr. Sachs is silent for a moment. May you experience all the generosity that you deserve, it intones, stepping into the darkness and taking the light and all memory of light with it. You wake up in a cold sweat, fumbling to light the lantern beside your bed. Just a nightmare, but one that leaves behind a sick sense of something barely averted. An occurrence, your sacks and snow, a chill presence quality, is now 1. A row of watchful Z-bats perch on the ship's railing, their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Okay, that was fun. Okay, and if we turn pretty much dead north, we'll get to that other square that I hadn't explored. Yes? Burning blue. A hiss of horror from the lookout. The glim lamp at the front of the ship is sputtering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch, the blue fades, but it's not a good omen. This continues to have a 96% chance. I'm gonna try it again. Let's attempt to calm them down. I succeeded! Light meets dark. The darkness underneath is more than the absence of light. It's a physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explain something of this to your sailors. It's not the first time they've heard it, but they seem slightly less nervous. I've gained a fragment. I didn't fail, so I'm happy. Continuing northwards. Oh no. Nope, 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 nope. It seems to have lost me. And we did explore that square that I hadn't explored yet. So if we head sort of this way, we should meet right up with the Chapel of Lights. I am doing what I can about the terror. We don't want to go through that vortex. Okay, yes, if I continue on this track, I should see the chapel before too long. There it is. It's a pity that the hunger hasn't risen too high yet. Ah, well. Chapel of Lights. We shall generate a port report. And we shall eat of the chapel's bounty. Lost 28 hunger, and I now have 1 menaces unaccountably peckish. Oh dear. Perhaps one should not eat at the chapel very often. I will not attend a service. I do have a lot of supplies, but I don't really want to give up 5 of them. So, onwards we go. Pretty much straight north from here-ish. There it is. Service at Avid Horizon. As soon as you dock, Mr. Sachs lumbers ashore. It has been preparing for this. Plunging a hand into its cloak, it removes a handful of ammonia-scented snow. It places it on the ground and adds another on the top. Into this one, it presses the teeth and the hair from the small box. Potential, substance. Only one thing needs to be added, as in the Tales of the Gnomon. The crimson beast of winter waits impatiently for you to provide it. Give your blood, a few drops should suffice, or substitute the blood. If you are careful, Mr. Sachs will never notice the switch. I think I'm going to substitute. I am concerned about what would happen if I gave my own blood here. So we're going to use the vial of questionable blood instead. The corrupted essence of life. You move to cut your hand with your pocket knife, but the vial clutched in your palm keeps the blade safely from your flesh. You tip it carefully, dripping a few drops of the thick blood into the pile. They fizz in the lacquer, which softens and melts into a puddle of snow. A hand emerges from it, then a head, then another hand, stretching as it clambers up from nowhere, the twisted face of a gargoyle rippled with red blood. It screams. The monster throws its head back, blood wells in its hollow eyes and drips down its half-formed face. The nascent arms explode into wings of shining ice as sharp as any razor. It bends backwards, new hands clawing at its eyes. Just as abruptly as the scream began, it stops. The shape collapses, melts. Mr. Sachs looks away. Another failure, it intones, stepping through the pile on its way to the Avid Horizon sealed gates. It rests a gloved hand against it, basking in the chill. The whisper of a place too cold for gods, refreshing. Your service is done. Begone before I change my mind. Something will shortly appear in your lodgings. Your service is concluded, and Mr. Sachs has departed. Welcome to Avid Horizon, folks. Let's gather some intelligence. This is the same text as before, so I will not read it. There's not really anything else to do except look into the stars. And I don't really want to do that. I really don't want to do that. So, the question is, where to go from here? Still haven't found Mount Palmerston. I suppose if I sail along the coast here, towards Frostfound. Unless it's in the 2 blocks that are there to the west. Oh, choices are so hard. Now, I think I'm going to go east because there's more that I haven't explored to the east. I might if I had one to hand, but I'm not sure what results I would get. I wear some anti-RSI gloves while I'm playing computer games to keep my hands from hurting, and the ones that I use have sort of grips on the bottom of the fingers and palms so that you can actually hold the mouse and stuff. And I'm really not sure how I would flip a coin successfully with that. Bat, anything interesting? Elephos Abyss. I'm just keeping an eye on the fuel. I would hate to not make it home. I guess the avid horizon is always to the far north. Anything to say, Bat? Teneb. Hold on here. Interesting. Let's see if we can meet up with Teneb then. And indeed, this is where it is. I guess the port must be on either the southern or the western edge. I hope there's a port. It looks too big to not have a port. Sycamore Arch. Oh, what a pleasant name. Can I go through here? I guess you can't make landfall at Teneb. It's just sort of there. Well, I guess as long as I'm at Frostfound, I might as well put in and get a port. And then I'm down to 8 fuel, so I should probably start heading west again. Oh, the tireless mechanic is still here, but I still don't need a mechanic. Alright, create a port report. Same as previous. And I'm going to take tea with the squatters because last time that got me some supplies and stuff. Supplies and fuel and lost 10 terror. Excellent. And, I think I will go along the upper edge of the Khanate here and see if I can't stop in at the Salt Lions on my way back. I'll just squeak under D'Thuli's rage here. Well, we're definitely in the Khanate territory now, but we're heading into a new square. Wilbert's Abyss. Oh, turn off the light. I do not want to have a fight with a Gillifleur right now. I do want is to stop in at the Stone Lions. Perhaps do a little math on bringing some stone back to London. Okay, the hold currently has 23 items in it, so I am not taking stone back to London this time. Alas. Alright, let's compile a port report. I do not have 20 units of spare cargo space, alas, so let's visit the Unmakers. Lost 5 terror and gained a fragment. I can work with that. It's a pity that I'm 3 slots short, but I honestly don't know what I would throw overboard. So, we can go to Demo Island and Venderbite on our way back to London, I think, given how much fuel we have. I'm willing to try. Every single time I turn the wrong way. Still no luck on finding Mount Palmerston, though. I mean, the Blind Bruiser isn't going to ask for any more favors until we've dropped off that crate of souls, but I do worry every time I return to port. We will attempt to sneak past this other ship here. We almost snuck past that ship there. They are depressingly accurate. They seem to have lost me for a moment. Oh, they noticed me again. Oh, now they're really confused. Alright, we made it into the funging station. We shall compile a port report. Let's have tea with the Factor again. That's been good for us so far. Lost 2 terror, gained 3 fragments and a supplies. I could gather more supplies, but I really don't need it. It's fine, everything's good. We're just going to wait for that ship to lose interest. There we go. And if we turn slightly northward like that, it shouldn't be too far to Venderbite. Yes, there it is. We're nearly there. I'm curious if they'll offer anything for sapphires. Oh, the crawling stars again. This seems to be happening a lot this life. Well, let's go with the 50-50 chance. A darkness. 3 of the false stars wink out altogether as suddenly as closed eyes. The pattern that remains is as hopeless and meaningless as cast dice. Somewhere a sailor begins to sob. You were unlucky. Better luck next time. Gained 2 terror. Continuing nervous. I am doing this purely because it is on the way. Alright, Tomb Colony. We'll gather some gossip. 1 port report generated. And you know what? Let's explore the city. An attack. You round a darkened corner and start down a broad boulevard lined with grimacing statues. There's a fluttering movement above, and a cloud of frost moths swoops down upon you. You beat them off with your walking stick. They are determined, and the largest are the size of Z-bats, but they are fragile. At last they retreat, leaving 3 of their number melting into water on the pavement. Their wings are marked with patterns that resemble letters. You peer at them, but the script was already dissolving. Gained another terror, still nervous, and 5 more fragments. That was a very weird experience. I'm not going to visit the first curator because I still don't have any colors for him. I wish I did, but I don't. I don't even know where to begin looking for the colors, and I don't want to look up spoilers. Alas. Again! Alright, 50-50 chance. Here goes. The Raid Wheel. Oh, I got this one before. Lost 3 terrors. Still nervous. I wonder why I keep getting star events. Oh, a fog bank. Excellent. Means that even with my light on, there's a possibility those bats won't notice me. You know what? I'm going to stop in at Hunter's Keep on my way. I know I caused terrible things to happen by stopping there so frequently before, but I'm not here, bats. You see nothing, you hear nothing. Nothing happening, bats. Nothing going on. Oh, the sisters are up for lunch. But first we're going to get a port report. Lucy or Phoebe? That is the question. 1 memory of distant shores. Gained a supply. Lost 48 hunger, significant amount. Lost 5 terror, still nervous. Still have Storm's attention. Okay, back to London. I wonder if I've been away long enough for the day to turn over yet. Yes. Yes. No good times, no light, only bad times. Okay. On my next trip out of London, I can get one more Z story and finally buy that salt that my contact wants. So that'll be awesome. Well, let's hand over our port reports, I guess. Hunter's Keep. 5 Echo, 1 Fuel. Venderbite, 10 Echo, 1 Fuel. Chapel of Lights. 20 Echo, 1 Fuel. Avid Horizon, 10 Echo, 1 Fuel. Frostfound, 30 Echo and 1 Fuel. Salt Lions, 20 Echo and a Fuel. I do so like getting all this free fuel, that's great. Demo Island, 20 Echo and another Fuel. And alas, that is all that I have. My hold is getting really full. And I have 5 secrets. I should spend some secrets for stat points. Let's see, she is the one who raises veils, right? Yes. Yes, she's the one. Let's spend a secret to increase veils. She's serious when she gets talking. There's hard edges under the bluff and banter. Hello, Demiser. Good evening. Oh, I am definitely raising my veils. I'm constantly in early game, too. And 2 more. There we go. Nice hefty pile of veils. Okay, so to my lodgings. Read the paper. Same text as before. Lost 1 terror, gained 1 recent news. I will finally have enough to buy Mutter salt. Oh my! The Incardine robe of Mr. Sachs. It sits on your chair. This has possibilities. Have 5 spaces of cargo clear before collecting this. A delivery from a grateful friend. Several crates of wine sit in your lodgings. The note on the top reads, "For your service and discretion." Uh-huh. Oh, which one do you go for, though? I suspect that using the one will turn off the other. Do I have 10 spaces clear? That's the question. Yes, I do. I'm gonna take the wine. If you hover over just under your throttle, it will tell... You mean where it says the hull information? Oh, so it does. I did not know that. Thank you. I'm gonna take the crates of wine. A medley of fine vintages. No, it can't be. Greyfields, 1868? A few bottles of Broken Giant, 1844? Isn't that from before the fall? Only Mr. Wines is said to stock these in any quantity, and it reserves them for itself and the very few with whom it considers itself on intimate terms. You extract the best ones for personal consumption. The rest will fetch a fine price. I no longer have the vial of highly questionable blood, and I cannot tell you how happy I am about that. Okay, so I can buy 4 fuel? I don't mind vials of blood as a concept, but carrying around a vial of questionable blood, let alone highly questionable blood, fills me with no small amount of concern. The Labyrinth of Tigers. I could purchase a live specimen, but I absolutely am not going to do that. I need my hold space for fuel because I'm going to be making a run up to Venderbite and then to Wither. So, with a 100% full hold and asking for trouble, we shall set off. Not currently. My problem is that I've been making very short trips lately, so the day has not been turning over in London before I come back. It's been a problem. All right. First stop, we get a Z story from the lightship. Losing 5 terror in the process. Now I have 5 Z stories, which is enough to buy that salt. So it's a run up to Venderbite. I'm going to bypass the keep for now. I was just there. The sisters are definitely not going to be up for lunch again so soon. I like the fog. The fog makes me less spottable. You know what, Ark? You and Demiser can arm wrestle over that particular one, but it will always be London to me. There we go. Now, the shops here will buy my mushroom wine. And the Hollow Temple pays more for Memory of Distant Shores than the Scholar does. So, we will sell my Memory of Distant Shores. And we will sell the mushroom wine. All 10 of them. Wahaha! And I've got hold space again. Which I will worry about later. Let's gather some gossip. I think you already have 10k channel points by now, Ark. And no. Let's see. Let's take and explore. In a wide space behind the Hollow Temple, you happen across a stepped platform of sorts. 4 statues guard it, marked with glyphs, all but lost to time and idle vandalism. They look a little like the glyphs that decorate the Echo Bazaar in London, though. At the heart of the platform is a long, filled well shaft. You poke about briefly, but something in that place makes you uneasy. A frost moth, the size of a farmer's hand, flutters down to perch on the well's edge. Another, a third. You retreat. What's with the frost moths? Well, yes, you did spend several thousand to make me sing on Sunday. There is that. Well, 20 fragments, 1 terror. I don't understand why I keep encountering frost moths. Alright, let's continue on to Wither. And hope that I don't run into those bloody bats that are always hanging around north of the city. But no, Ark, I will, to some limited extent, take suggestions for things to make channel point redeems. But changing what I call London is not going to be one of them. Oh, the stars again. Well, let's take the 50-50 chance. A darkness. Oh, that's the unlucky one. Gained 2 terror, I'm still nervous. I don't know where those bats are. Oh, please don't notice me. I don't want to fight a Lifeberg. They're hefty. there's certain cultists that would claim that arc. Oh no, there's another one so close to the city. Why? Ah, here we are. The House of the Question. Northwest of Withertown, the House of Question stands alone. Well, I'm going to start with the shops. I'm buying the salt. Yay! This guy will sell me supplies for Tales of Terror. But anyway, back to the story. Wither first. And also, the main thing here is that channel point rewards that can only be used once and then never again are not really the best choice, to my mind. Alright, Wither. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch white and silent as the face of the moon. From here, you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Explore the town. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sights tucked away. Gather intelligence. The citizens of Wither enjoy questions, so much so that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating. And shore leave and Wither. The folk of Wither are quiet and sly and mystical. They subsist on cave fish and the dust-burrowing beasts of the waste. Their beer, however, is adequate. That is a straightforward challenge with a 100% chance of success. Does cost 50 echo, though. Well, let's gather some intelligence, as frustrating as that's going to be. Are you asking for any particular reason? At what time of day? Is this your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually you cobble together enough implication and supposition to compose a report. I'll think about that one, Ark. I don't know that I am enthused about it because I'm still trying to figure out what of my library will actually be picked up by my streaming software and which ones won't. But I will think about it. Alright, let's explore the town. Fisherfolk, sailors, a shady couple of likely pirates, and is that a drownie down by the water's edge? They sit round a fire at the Z's edge, passing around a bottle of something viciously black. They're wagering on riddles. Will you join them? Oh boy. 37% chance of success on the simple one, 18 on the real challenge, 12 on one of the riddles of the pearl, and 9 on one of the great riddles of Irem. Let's try an echo on one of the simpler riddles. You have a 37% chance. It'll only cost us a coin. Let's try it. A cat's shadow. The fisherman grumbles but pays up. You succeeded. That's all for now. I've gained an echo and 10 fragments. That actually tipped me over into having a secret. I love it. There were some of the so-called, what I would refer to as the standard redeems for channel points that I just couldn't do. Like there's the ones that request a stretch, or the ones that are hydrate, or that sort of thing. And without a camera, I cannot prove that I'm doing any of it, so I feel sort of like I'm cheating the person who spent the points if I were to do those. So, I tried to come up with alternate things. So I have some of the sound redeems, I have the forbidden word and the sing. I recently added a random fact. That sort of thing. I have neither ara ara or uwu in any of my sound alerts. I promise you that. I do have the wow, but that's because I find it hilarious. The wow is the one that Ezra played earlier in the stream. It is a very common wow, but I still think it's funny. Ah, I see. I don't think I'm cute enough to get away with that. It is perhaps a little weird. What about the House of the Question? Northwest of Withertown, the House of the Question stands alone. Here the initiates of the house make offerings to the three gods of the deep sea. Oh right, this is the temple. Ask about the drowned man. The initiates of the house are reluctant to speak of him, but you may be able to bribe them enough to gain a few tenuous snippets. 100 echo? No. Gain Salt's attention. The walls around Salt's shrine are written over with tales. Bring it a story. Gods of the Sea. Not defiant. 10 echo. 1 story. 1 secret. And when I have Salt's attention, which I do, apparently. But I don't have any Z stories because I spent it all on Salt. I am not going to defy the gods. You know what? Let's sail over to Codex, hopefully avoiding that Lifeberg. Don't see me, please don't see me. I would really like it if you don't see me. The comatose ferret is not listed amongst the gods of the Z at the House of Whispers arc. So it would be very hard to defy the ferret there, seeing as they don't recognize the ferret as a deity. The Isle of Codex. Codex, a desperate cave full of mute exiles and an inexplicable colony of shivering, bad-tempered monkeys. I'm saying that if a particular god is not worshipped in a particular temple, defying the gods of that temple is not going to defy the god that is not worshipped there. It just doesn't work. There's no connection. Rest at calm with the ferret arc. Alright, let's compile a port report. Silently forthright, the exiles see many come, fewer leave. Some are even willing to communicate, but their gestures are unfamiliar, the meanings unclear. Even when you can understand, these are answers without questions, as useless as a key without a lock. I now have a port report. Somebody else can figure out what it means. There's also a doomed monster hunter here, but I do not have the searing enigma required to acquire this one. So the question is, now what? I should probably sail around Codex just to uncover this block here. And then maybe those 2 blocks that are just by the Avid Horizon, just to see if Mount Palmerston is in there. I'm starting to think it's in one of those blocks over by the Salt Lions, but I don't know that I want to sail that far in this trip. I'm not sure if I have enough fuel to sail that far in this trip. But at the very least, I should try to go around Codex, hopefully without angering that Lifeberg. Oh yes, I'm ignoring that message that I definitely read and did not respond to. I'm ignoring it quite hard, as you can tell. Just absolutely not paying attention. It continues to not be a command. Okay. Void's approach. Well, I'm glad that somebody indulged you in it then. Ah. Well, I may regret this, but let's put in the Avid Horizon and generate another port report there. Where is everyone? Where did they go? They're here. They're here. You're not alone. Sometimes the flavor text is really concerning. Alright, let's make a port report. I'm still not going to look into the stars. That seems to be concerning. Okay, so many places that Mount Palmerston continues to not be. I'm starting to run out of northeast to some extent. There's still a chunk of map over there, though. I don't really have enough fuel to explore very far in that direction. So, yeah, I'm gonna try for those 2 blocks near the Salt Lions. Good evening, Cybershot. Welcome. I do not actually have the Untersee DLC, so this is actually the base game. I'm only ever going to be on top of the ocean. Well, unless I die, in which case I will very definitely be under it. Oh no, that thing is there. Okay, we're not going to the chapel today. Nope, 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 nope. Do not want to deal with that thing. I don't even want to look at how many hit points it's got. A tryst. A discreet opportunity has arisen to spend time with your favorite officer. This will noticeably reduce your terror unless it's already low, but if you have a sweetheart back home, you may want to think twice. You know what? My sweetheart at home and I have a child. For their sake, I am going to end the affair with the clattery air. Yes, there are faster ships. I've never been able to afford one. I'm ending the affair despite the fact that it would reduce my terror. Gained 5 terror. The night is a little darker. My romance and affair with my officer equality is gone. And I have no idea where I am. Where am I? I'm where I want to be. Yep. I keep dying before I have enough money to upgrade my ship. I'm trying that, Demiser. It's a new concept, but I am making an attempt. Can't fly the trains. There are trains? Although there is the sequel game, but I have to admit I am not as interested in flying as I am in sea exploration. I have an issue with heights. And if I had a character who repeatedly died by falling out of the sky, I don't think I would enjoy that. Oh, I wasn't trying to say that I would actually see the height. It's just knowing that that was how my character died would bother me. To some extent, that's my Wednesday game, Demiser, since I play Among Us on Wednesdays. Alright, we have arrived at the Salt Lions. Let's compile a port report. How much hold space do we have? We have more than enough. We are going to take a load of stone back to London. $20 Sphinx stone for 200 echoes. Alright, let's visit the Unmakers. Lost 5 terror and gained a fragment. Okay, so the usual, I think, over to Demoux, down to Hunter's Keep, and into London. Taking it slowly while I take this tight corner. I don't use the horn. I don't want to know what happens. Plus, I'm constantly avoiding things because I am so tiny and delicate, and they're so big and scary. Don't see me. Please don't see me. It didn't see me! I'm glad I raised my veils. I've had good luck with sneaking tonight. War tubas. Well, I suppose if you wanted something that would be heard from a ship, a tuba would definitely be, carrying. Personally, for war zeppelins, I would say bagpipes seem more appropriate to me. A bag of air being announced by a bag of air. It seems just right, you know? Oh, that's another strike against Sunless Skies then. One of the things I really like about this game is the exploration. Even though I'm having so much difficulty finding Mount Palmerston this life. Alright, compile a port report. Sure, let's explore the island. A shadowy predator. It's the little things, the click of a sliding stone where there should be silence, a motion in the shadows as if there were thick stirred with, like ink, a lull in the cries of the Z-bats. Something is watching you, drawing closer hour by hour. You and your crew draw back to back, watching the darkness. Rate, watch, and end it. It has stealth, but you have rifles. All you need is a clear shot and you'll earn yourself a trophy. It's a high-risk challenge with a 16% chance of success. Oh yeah, this particular life, I have not even explored half the map yet. Capture it alive. This could be tricky. Also a high-risk challenge with a 24% chance of success. Or retreat to the ship. Put clear black water between you and the thing in the shadows. That is an 80% chance. Retreat! Retreat! An orderly retreat. You sense it in the murk, its course parallel to your own. But by the time it draws near, the lights of the port are already ahead. Your sailors clatter up the gangplank, whispering together in nervous undertones. I was fortunate. I gained a terror and one tale of terror, but I didn't die. Demiser, when you play this game, you are allowed to play with as little caution as you see fit. Ah, I see. That used up the chance of having tea with the factor, alas. Here, we'll take the 60-40 chance for gathering supplies. Or will we? No, you know what? We're not going to bother. We only have 5 spaces in we only have 5 spaces in the hold. Moving along. Yeah, straight ahead from here. We're just gonna stop in at the keep and generate a port report and maybe have lunch with the sisters if they're up for it, but... Oh, we're getting dangerously low on fuel here. That old fury, a sailor, has run mad. She roams the ship, cudgel in hand, smashing comrades to the deck. She cries, "He is angry! Oh, he is angry!" Shoot her dead. It's the only safe thing to do. She's already killed one man. That's a 100% chance of success. Take her down. Call her by name. Remind her who she is, where, why. High risk challenge with a 24% chance of success. Oh yeah, the ambiance is great in this game. Or capture her alive. Perhaps you can confine her until the madness passes. 25% chance. We're losing a sailor. A bitter end. Your sailor's weapons roar, and down she goes. You recite a hasty funeral for the poor soul and her wretched victim, but who will be next? I lost 2 crew, and everybody knows what that means, except for the new people. That means that I actually use the death tracker tonight. Once it loads. I never did set this up to be an automatic function, so, you know, doing it manually. Old school. Death count for tonight.
Arc_water_bot. Death count 2.
Thank you, Arc. And also, for Try Not to Die Thursdays, I do have a text-to-speech bot, which I forgot to mention before, but which Arc remembered. You just use it by using !speak and what you want to say. Good thing I'm nearly to London. I will definitely need to replace my sailors. Storm's attention continues, apparently. Hunter's Keep. We shall generate a port report. Terror is pretty high. Let's have lunch with Lucy. Alright, lost 10 terror, gained a supply, lost 24 hunger, have a memory of distant shore, zone's attention continues. Never here, Arc. Okay. I hope losing 2 sailors doesn't slow me down too much. I'm very concerned about my amount of fuel. I disagree with your statement about never being here, Arc. You're here so quickly, you do my schedule announcement for me. Come on, last barrel and a half of fuel. You can do it. So close. It'll happen. It'll happen. Haha! Alright, this time, Spinkstone goes out first. Deliver the Spinkstone. Still didn't reset London. I still haven't been away long enough. This is getting ridiculous. Alright, gained 500 echo. Now have lots of space in the hole, lost 2 terror, and delivered the Sphinx Stone. Okay, hiring on more crew. 30 echo because the new recruit is still locked. Darn it. I can't disagree. Echoes is not bad. Alright, we're going to... Yeah, we're going to spend the 30 echoes to get another crew member. Rich pickings, your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. Success in a hearts challenge? Lost a terror, gained 2 crew! Ha-ha! Okay, that's 15 per crew, that's worth it. Okay, so off to the Admiral. We shall submit some port reports. Hunter's Keep. 5 echo, 1 fuel, all the usual. Venderbite. 10 echo, 1 fuel. Whither? I refuse to ask any questions. I don't want to give them the satisfaction. 20 echo, 1 fuel, and 1 very tired clerk. Avid Horizon. Everything's quiet there, I promise. 10 echo, 1 fuel. Codex. Exiled for giving answers. That's Wither for you. Anything new? Well, 20 echoes, 1 fuel. Everything else remains the same. Oh, I got a new accomplishment. I surveyed Codex because I went there for the 2nd time. Assault Lions. 20 echo, 1 fuel, all the usual. Demo Island. 20 echo, 1 fuel. And off we go because there's nothing more to do there. I still have nothing for the Rose Market, nor can I reset it. Well, off to lodgings. Shall read the morning papers. One recent news, lost a terror. I could rest, but I don't really need to. Oh, I could actually collect... The Mr. Sachs thing is still here. I find myself curious enough to click on this. The Incarnine Robe of Mr. Sachs. It sits on your chair. This has possibilities. Ho, ho, ho. Londoners give generously to Mr. Sachs. Is it really that time of year, some of them ask, but a shake of the sack is all it takes to convince them it is better to give than to receive the crimson beast of winter's displeasure. You return home with a bulging sack of shiny new toys. When you next wake, the robe is gone. Oh my. Oh dear. Alright, gained 3 secrets, 2 strategic information, 4 drowning pearls, which means I could go and drop them off in the Khanate again, 2 scintillac. Wasn't there somebody buying that in the Rose Market? 1 judgment's egg. What the heck is that? Is this a soul? It's pale and bright. Souls like this, they say, are the spores of strange gods. 1 zoop. The color, old blood on snow. The taste, paprika, mushrooms, irony. The recipe, closely guarded. I have 2 approved romantic literature. and deep, deep abiding concerns. Very deep abiding concerns. But also, I picked up the mutter salt, so let's, hey, contact, you wanted salt. Civvy, the urchin who talks to the wind, he wants mutter salt from Wither to calm his tongue. Thanks. You ever been to the Chelenate? Dirty great city in a turtle's shell. The bone men there, the priests of storm, they've got what's left of your father. Good luck getting him back. They're all mad as butter. How do I know? He makes a fist, slowly lifts it to indicate the roof of the Neath, far above. In the Chelenate, they talk to Storm, and Storm, he talks to me. The god in the roof. He's a fearsome old thing. Don't piss him off, that's my advice. And if you don't want to piss him off, don't piss the bone men off. Or me, come to that. Find the Chelenate on its turtle shell in the far east of the Untersee to continue. Do I have the Chelenate on my list? I do. I have the Chelenate on my list. Well, at least I've continued that. Alright, I think somebody in Roser's Wharf. Yes, here we are. The tattooed courier will pay well for a consignment of Scintillac. Her skin is crowded with bright ink. Her smile is cocky. And she only buys one, apparently, so I'd still have another one to figure out what to do with? Interesting. Alright, let's trade with the tattooed courier. A satisfied customer. It makes admirable jewelry, she explains, but exceptional tea. Two of the market's horse-masked attendants help her wheel the box away. Lost one Scintillac, gained 105 echo, and the Rose Market has closed for the time being. I can't complain. Is there anything here the alarming scholar wants to buy? They pay more for distant shore memories in Venderbite. They'll buy the Judgment's Egg. Should I sell them the Judgment's Egg? Yes, let's... Wait, actually no. Lodgings... Study... Does the Judgment's Egg unlock anything here? No, apparently it is neither a captivating treasure nor an outlandish artifact. That's a pity. Back to the scholar. The Judgment's Egg. Amongst other things that I got from masquerading as the extremely dangerous version of Father Christmas, I got a Judgment's Egg, which the alarming scholar is willing to buy, and I'm just debating whether I should do that or whether I should just, hang on to it just in case. Difficult decision. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I will try selling them the Judgment's Egg. Questions. How intriguing. Has it been in an ape? Did you leave it in a jewel? It hasn't been to the surface, has it? Can it provoke objects to self-mutilation? Have you subjected it to imaginary wavelengths? What is 500 echo and my favor is increasing with the antiquarian. Interesting. Well, 500 Echo will definitely pay for more fuel and supplies to go exploring with. Although the direction to go exploring is the question. Let's just close the journal for a moment and have a look at the map. Now, I'm still looking for Mount Palmerston, which must be somewhere east of Frostfound, I guess? Or east of the Khanate, which is just as weird. But I do need to go east to find my father's bones. So, I guess I'm going east? I guess I'm going east. But yes, definitely need some supplies for that. Especially if I'm going that far east. So, going to buy 10 fuel. And a pile of supplies as well. Well, we're full, we're going. Eastward, and we'll see where I end up. It's possible that this is going to be the whatever the next port I put in at that isn't the light ship to get a Z story is going to be the last one of tonight, because it is getting towards midnight, which is my end time. And we're getting into my allergy season, so my voice is getting a little rough. The coconut water is helping. I'm just, it's not helping as much as I'd hoped. Allergy season kind of sucks. Alright, let's get a Z story. Thank you. And yeah, east. And we shall see what happens. Maybe we'll find the Chelinate. I could stop in at that ship, but there's really no need to. Wasn't Storm one of the Z gods whose attention that I had? I'm pretty sure I've got Storm and Salt's attention in this life. Chugga, 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 chugga. We enter the snares. that's a whirlpool, and that's an island? It's an island with structures on it. That's good. Whoop, that's not good. Nope, 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 nope. Don't notice me. Don't notice me. I'm not here. There's nobody here. I swear, Gillifleurs are worse than the bats. Pigmoat Isle, 2 houses, both alike in dignity. On a lonely desert beach, there is no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. A stretch of sand thickens into damp black earth, from which sprout stunted palms? Not quite. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. Disembark and see what awaits you. Oh, this doesn't sound like it would be a problem at all. Everything's fine. Let's go. War. As you step onto the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see, off in the distance, smoke rising from beyond the hill, and dots of fire flecking the horizon. 2 tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. A literary interlude. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Z Captain, from London to Arem, and what we did there before we arrived, washed ashore on Mutton Island, and subsequently serialized in the Unexpurgated Gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. The picture of the book is literally dripping blood. The Tale of Pigmoat Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Chapter 1, The Delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Ratus Faber, wearing goggles, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig, wearing a helmet and a breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. "Welcome, Captain, to Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, Second Chief Engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." The rat stepped back. At precisely the same moment, with what appeared to be the ease of long habit, the guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. "Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Cavia. I am Lady Augusta Devereux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches, sentinel to our King Gracenog, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." The 2 stood at attention, looking at me expectantly. Oh boy. Chapter 2, Alike in Dignity. The 2 remarkable rodents sat, squatted, both seeking my support. I knew I had to choose carefully. I spoke to the chief engineer. His eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. Or I spoke to the sentinel. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look regal? Or I had heard more than enough. I was ready to make my choice. So I guess I can speak to both of them? I will try. We'll start with the rat. A rat in the making. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. We came to this island to make a home for ourselves away from London, its cats and snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the Rat Star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nodded towards the distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? Okay, so what does the guinea pig have to say? A night out of habit. The sensual cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. Grace-na the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months has sojourned on the sea, conquered this land and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance, assured shall be our glories and their fall, when our lady's eye restored be to our hall. The sensual composed herself, then added, We saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Keviat, but the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? Oh boy. So this is all over a probably magical light that was on top of a hill that was smack dab in between these two colonies, both of whom were under the impression that they owned said light. Despite their knack for poetry, I am more inclined towards the rats, personally. I'm not really into stomping out peasants. All right, I have heard. I am ready. Chapter 2, Alike in Dignity. As you can well imagine, I faced quite a dilemma. Their red eyes stared up at me, waiting for my choice. All right, so I sided with the chief engineer. He seemed grumpy but honest. Also, I knew all too well what rat-made weapons can do. I favored the sensual. Was it her charm or a fondness for London's rat-skin coats that swayed me? Perhaps a little of both. At any rate, I was keen to find out more about this civilization. I attempted to broker a peace. Surely their commonalities were more numerous than their differences. Perhaps I could help them to get along? I doubt that one has any chance of success, honestly. It's tempting, but, Oh, the choices, the terrible choices. I will side with the rats. A friend to rats. I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The sensual hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. You've made the right choice, said the chief engineer. Let me show you around. Gained 1 fuel, gained 1 supplies, and an occurrence. Your memoirs, a rat in the making quality, is now 1. You chose to help the rats. Chapter 3, a rat in the making. There is a lot of text here. All right, and it's all in italics. Joy. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we came upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I had encountered in London. Flats, perhaps only 50 ratus faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from a stump of chickenwood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow and was almost too bright to look at. By its light, I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water, an albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks, where a sergeant barked drills at a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. "Welcome to Marinia," said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. "It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've rousted the clavies. Take a stroll around while I summon the War Council." With that, he vanished into one of the mounds and left me to explore. Visited the rats' barracks. The drill sergeant appeared to be sizing me up. Were the few rats around her really all she had to launch in an attack? I took a closer look at the rat star. An excitable-looking rat was peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers and making notes on what appeared to be real paper. I headed down to the beach. Who ever heard of a rat mending a net? I finished my exploration. The bells of the War Council rang. I was summoned. All right, let's just work our way through them in sequence then, I guess. The barracks. We were fighting impressive odds. I approached the drill sergeant and went so far as to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her groups and offered me a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. "There's more of us below ground," she explained, "but not enough. The clavies are bigger and there's more of 'em. We're better with weapons, but we haven't got the stuff to make 'em with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish and we nibble on the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The clavies came with their own steamer and seem to have endless supplies. We raid 'em sometimes, but there's so few of us and we can never hold on to territory gained for so long. But that's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic. And the rat star," she added thoughtfully after a moment. "Of course, we want that too." Okay, that's all the text that I already read. Let's have a better look at the rat star then, since that's what this whole war is about. "Blue as a sapphire, but endlessly more brilliant. It's not a star, of course, not really, but try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them. Says this is better for morale, but just look at it, look!" She offered me her goggles. I managed to work them over just enough of one of my eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was scintillac, but unlike any I'd seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. "Those of us who have been to the Cavi side of the island and lived to tell of it say that there's plenty of glow there, plenty of bright in the water all round, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Arat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow, there's sweet water inside, and coral crawling up all the walls of it, but nothing that glows save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us." Okay, down to the beach, where the green billows played. An albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things: blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing would never be so good without the rat star. He beamed. "I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood." Okay. Bells of War. Let the save game save. Okay, there we go. The chief Chapter 4 of Vital Enterprise. The chief engineer emerged from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduced them as weapons experts, strategists, and field commanders. So you're going to help us beat the cavies, he said, a hard edge to his voice. But how, exactly? I offered my strategic assistance. We engineered a distraction that the LBs could use to plunder the Cavi ship and turn the tide in their favor. That's a straightforward challenge with a 92% chance of success, thank you, raised veils. I determined to take the lead. I had a ship, I had cannons, we would steer her to the southern side of the island and have at those uppity animals. That's a chancy challenge with a 51% chance of success. I miss my gunner all of a sudden. I miss her. I had nothing to offer but my advice. The king took it in desperation, if not gratitude. Let's offer strategic assistance. It has the best chance, and it's actually what I would try to do. A questing beast. I dressed up one of me sailors in a dress of shabby cloth smeared with prisoner's honey and instructed him to roll around in the black earth of the island. Soon we had a glorious mud monster to send thrashing through the chicken woods towards the cavies. The distraction worked perfectly. The cavies diverted their force towards our makeshift beast, leaving the rats with very little opposition as they plundered the grounded ship. They returned triumphant, as did my sailor, laughing, having led the cavies a merry chase. Within a few hours, the rats' diligence had resulted in the building of a remarkable cache of weapons, with which they successfully routed their enemy. The rats, ever egalitarian, shared their spoils in addition to the promised food and fuel. That's a success in the Veils channel challenge. Hail Mirania! An occurrence, your Pigment Isle might quality is now 4 vulnerable. My Pigment Isle civilization quality is 5 unexceptional. My Pigment Isle spirit quality is now 3 conflicted. I have 4 bales of linen, 1 scintillac, and 10 fuel. Oh, that's a bunch more exploration. Chapter 5. A nation is born. The house of Cavi has fallen. Mirania was triumphant. All that remained were the celebrations and the continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night. Then I invited one of the Ratus Faber to join us. After all, what's a ship without a few rats? I interceded on behalf of the Cavies. They were crushed, defeated, and I could see their spirits broken without the light of the rat star to guide them. They needed an advocate. Or the wide Z beckoned. We'd eaten our fill, and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors still awaited us. Albino Tinkerer? I think that's... that might be an engineer, and I already have one. I don't want to replace her. Oh dear. I'm torn. Either that's a mascot or it's an engineer, probably. Sure, let's invite it and find out. Welcome aboard. The chief engineer couldn't leave his colony, but he relayed my request to his people. The albino rat I saw mending nets shyly stepped forward. I'm good at fixing things, he said earnestly, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before accompanying him on board. I now have 1 albino tinkerer, and I've lost 1 of my civilization, and total of 4 and troubled. I'm not sure what that did. I am not going to intercede on behalf of the guinea pigs. Back to sea. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, I have 11 more things than I can carry. Oh. Why didn't I sell that romantic literature while I was in London? I hate it, but I'm gonna have to leave some of the fuel behind. Oh, that burns so much. That's all the fuel that I got from this. No, I refuse. I'm throwing away the sapphires. At least I can get 4 fuel out of that. Whoops. I'm so mad. Okay, fine. Stupid full hold. Oh, and it makes the splashing noise just to remind me of what I had to do. The wide dark sea beckoned. We had eaten our fill and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors still awaited us. The end. There, you finish your diary entry, and the final dregs of the rat's surprisingly good wine. They line up to salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new republic. I now have a port report for Pigmote Isle, and a new nation has been founded. Okay, so, yep, it's a mascot. It's a mascot that increases veils by 2. I need that mascot to keep my mirrors as high as it is. Darn it. I don't suppose you want to be a gunnery officer. No? Are you sure? No? No. Darn you, rat. Okay, that ship just makes me nervous. Well, things definitely happened. That's a lot of things that happened. I really don't like the way that ship just keeps being there. Oh, and then it disappeared. That's weird. But yes, this is where I'm going to call it a night. It is 20 past 12. It is beyond my stopping time. And we won the war. So it seems like just as good a time as any to call it a night. This has been fun. This has definitely been fun. I did not expect to go to war tonight, but it's nice having won said war. For anyone who's curious what has been going on in my playthrough of Sunless Sea, all of the previous episodes are available on my YouTube channel, along with all of the other games that I have played for Try Not to Die Thursday, and my Sunday game, which is Disco Elysium. There is a lot of video on that site. There is hours and hours and hours of video available on my YouTube. Thank you for coming by and watching Cybershot. And I will be returning again on Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will be continuing to play Disco Elysium. It will be the second week in a row where I will be vigorously not following the main plot of the game because it's not time yet. I have to kill time until it is time. So I'm just doing everything but the main plot. And being quite ridiculous in the course of it. And then I will be returning again on Monday for a special once-monthly stream I'm calling Mid-Month Monday, where I play an entirely random game. And this month's random game is going to be a puzzle game called World of Goo, which is a very silly game, and we'll see how much of it I can get through. And that will be starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time and ending around 11-ish. Or when people get tired, whichever happens first. And then I will be returning again on Wednesday at as close to 7 p.m. as a group of writers can be gathered into the same online space to play Among Us with a local group of friends that I made through a writing challenge that occurs every November called National Novel Writing Month. So yes, we're a bunch of writers who get together and lie to each other. It's very on brand. And then Sunless Sea will return again next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where I guess I'll be continuing to explore eastward and see if I can't find the Chelenate or possibly Mount Palmerston or any one of the numerous other places that I'm trying to find for various people. Wouldn't it be nice if I actually found something I was looking for? The Darkest Dungeon streams are a lot of me complaining about RNG, Ark. Don't lie to them. Still, if you find people complaining about RNG being cruel to them, my Darkest Dungeon streams are definitely choice for that. Anyway, I will return again on Sunday. I hope that y'all come join me. That would be great. I had a great amount of fun tonight. I hope you all had fun as well. And I hope you have a great night going forward. Good night.